A blogger is a person who has a blog, YouTube channel or Instagram, and he regularly posts there. Influencer is a person who influences other people. If a blogger has a lot of followers, readers who listen to his opinion, so he is an influencer. Influence is often measured by number of monthly visitors and engagement metrics like shares, comments, clicks, etc. Simply put, just because you have a blog or channel doesn't mean you are an influencer. Metrics define influence.
Sure, there are several points that marketers should analyze and consider when choosing an influencer for influencer marketing campaign. I guess I can name 5 of them. Number 1 is reach. Followers, subscribers, and view counts provide a simple metric for choosing an influencer because it determines his or her popularity and impact in general. Number 2 is engagement. Likes, comments and shares on social media determine how active and responsive an audience is. Number 3 is a platform. There are so many different platforms nowadays, and each of platform has its own advantages and disadvantages for reaching audiences. Number 4 is price and budget, because it always dictates who marketers can work with, what kind of influences they can afford and what kind of placements they can do, and how many influences they can use for a campaign. And number 5, I put them together because these 2 factors are very important and they don't exist without each other, is content and audience. Content must be high quality, consistent, focused, and in line with brand goals and values and image. And partnering with influencers with active, vivid, and loyal audiences will help you to make messaging more effective.
First thing I'd like to talk about is that we need to implement a personal approach. We need to remember that influencers are personalities with their own thoughts and their own mood. They are not just instruments for reaching marketing goals. We don't need to be friends with them too close, but at least they need to be sure that we can cover them, that we got their back. The second important thing I'd like to mention is that we need to know their content. I'm not talking about learning by heart their scripts or their photos or whatever, but we need to know the main idea. What does influencer try to say with his or her content?
A brand ambassador is in many ways the exact thing as an influencer. It can be a celebrity or a person with 5,000 or 50 million followers or subscribers. Their job during the campaign is the same as an influencer: to represent, to sell the product or service by using their personal connection with their followers. The big difference between an influencer and ambassador is collaborations they have with the brand. While an influencer typically offers 1 or 2 posts during a single campaign and then maybe never cooperate with the same company, and brand ambassador represents the company for a long time. Often the ambassador also only represents that particular brand and doesn't work with any other brands during this time as an ambassador. As a human representation of a brand, the brand ambassador's purpose is to develop and maintain a positive company image by interacting with his audience. The biggest reason why companies choose to hire influencers as ambassadors is branding. The ambassadors are the ones with the best understanding of a brand's voice and personality. Also, by using the same person for the same brand for a long time, people will start associating that brand with that person. People often aspire to be like these individuals. This is what makes them more likely to buy products or services that an ambassador represents. Ambassadors often become the face of a brand and work exclusively with that brand, or at the very least, not for any other brand's competitors. So I would say here we have two options. The first one is exclusivity for a brand in the category, wherein brand ambassadors are free to represent other brands in other categories. You can be a brand ambassador both for online shop and beauty salon, but not for two online shops or two beauty salons. Exactly like Messi represents shoe companies, airlines, and other brands. And the second option is exclusivity for brand across categories, wherein it is strictly prohibited to represent any other brands across any other categories, and so the face of brand ambassador becomes completely associated with the brand.